The final issue of The Rise of Kylo Ren came out yesterday, completing the journey of Ben to Ren, as writer Charles Soule likes to put it. Having joined the Knights of Ren on a trial basis, Ben is on the Mind Moon of Mimban, where his new friends are on the hunt for some artifact. He tries to stop them from killing the natives, but of course they do, and he acts all shocked. Ren starts to question Ben's unwillingness to take part in the violence until Vo and Tai show up, giving him someone to at least defend himself against. Tai duels Ben, all the while explaining to him that he has more control over what's happening than he realizes. Despite his strength in the Force, Ben has felt powerless his whole life. He's felt like he's a slave to both his light and dark bloodlines and all the expectations that come with them. Tai very nearly gets through to his old friend until Ren takes away the choice once more, snapping the Padawan's neck with the Force. That's enough to enrage Ben, sending him fully into the dark side to seek vengeance. Across the galaxy, the turn is felt by Palpatine, Snoke, Leia, and even Rey. He kills Ren and the other knights go flying. And then he finally does something I think is pretty reprehensible by killing Vo. I guess the other knights can see that they're no match for his power, and they kneel to him. As they fly away in the Night Buzzard, Ben bleeds his own Kyber crystal, and I think for the first and only time we see his eyes go full-on dark side. I'd say this is Ben's darkest personal moment that we've ever seen, which makes sense, bleeding crystals requires it. I think it's pretty cool that Charles Soule got to show us both Vader and his grandson bleeding their crystals in his stories. The process breaks the crystal, and the lightsaber requires the vents to be installed so it will work properly. That's all something people have been speculating on since the concept of bleeding Kyber crystals was introduced. It's cool to see that happen, but I think this was probably my least favorite issue of the series. Don't get me wrong, the whole story was great, and Charles Soule had a lot of awesome stuff to say about the Force and the dark side and the nature of choice and who you want to be. The conversation with Tai was the best part of issue 4, but for the most part, I just wasn't surprised. A lot of stuff happened exactly as I thought it would, where I think the other 3 issues kept me more on my toes. That's just the nature of writing a story where you basically know the end result for the main character. I've still got some questions that I thought might have been answered, like in the first issue, did Ben actually destroy Luke's temple? I'm gonna guess that he did, just not purposefully. I kinda thought Snoke or the Knights of Ren would be revealed to have something to do with it, but that never came back. So I do think Ben is responsible in a way, and I think that's important. Without that moment, I don't really buy him thinking there's no way for him to go back. But if he killed every student at the temple, yeah, that makes a lot more sense that he feels he would never be forgiven or accepted. I also think there could have been a little more explanation regarding the relationship between Snoke and Palpatine. I get that the Emperor literally made Snoke, but did Snoke have any sort of free will, or was he entirely a puppet? That's still unclear to me, but I don't know what Soule did and didn't know as he wrote this series. My opinion of Charles Soule as the best Star Wars comic writer holds true with this series. Again, I loved what he had to say about not just Ben, but the Force and the Jedi and the dark side. I can't wait to see what he does with his novel in the High Republic. And I also really enjoyed Will Sliney's art. I'm not big in the comics world outside of Star Wars, and I'm definitely no art critic, but I thought he had some gorgeous frames throughout the whole series. But let me know what you thought of The Rise of Kylo Ren in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.